Okay guys, my camera just went off on me as I was taking my blazer off. So let me go back to what I was saying. Yes, my windows are dirty. They need to be cleaned. Part two. Okay, so just like with the home birth, I asked for help. I'm like, what do you do if the cord wraps around your son's neck? You just take it off, and they did. It did wrap around his neck. And Molly was like, Melissa, this is no time to be modest. Open up your nightgown. Don't be modest. You're having a baby. This is no time to be modest. I did have back pain, right? And I had help with that. My husband helped me in the shower, and we used hot water on my back. And so, just like anything, just if you're having a birth and you need some help, or you're working around the home and you have your kids help out, and you ask for help with anything, right? Guys open the doors for you. Thank you so much. There's nothing prideful. There's nothing wrong with getting help, guys. But we somehow seem to think we can help people with everything but money. Why is that? Why is that? We should not be that way. So, couple things here. My nonprofit, I'm starting this week. I have two professionals helping me to start things and to get my ideas going, right? So I need help with a website for that and my business. I started one with my business and I didn't like it. Need help with that. Probably need help with graphic designs. Need help with a lot of stuff. And the more help I get, the more help I can help other people. So, I am going to be putting pro-life stuff together. I just have somebody emailing me saying, we want to help you get your baby app together. So, not sure, about the credibility of this place, but I need to check it out. So, one, it's going to be Fighting for Life, my nonprofit, and that will be a given because most pregnancy centers already do that. Most pro-life organizations already do that. But yet there's a gap between them and the churches. So I'm going to be pulling in pro-life pregnancy centers plus pulling in churches, because when you have churches, usually that is where you will find societal support for women. It has to be both. It has to be spiritual and it has to be material. It has to be physical. So I talked to a church today. They had me come in, fill out an application for some assistance, and they wanted me to put down, do I have work? Every single form is different. I've been watching the forms to see how to help people, and I'm not seeing like people tweaking forms like, okay, let us find out what else they need. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing, okay, here's your basic bills, but do you have other stuff? Like, do you have insurance? Do you have storage? Do you have car repairs? There's a lot more that's needed instead of just gas and food and rent. Those are pretty basic, guys. So I feel every single church should offer gas cards, because right there, go with someone, go to the gas station. Right there, they can get to where they need to go. They can work. They can get to the grocery store. Secondly, they can get to a food pantry. And then, also have food cards, because not everyone with allergies can eat what's at the food pantry. And when they only give you like one meal or two meals and maybe a lunch and a breakfast for the week, some people don't even do that. I mean, they'll give you like, I remember calling one place here, Karen Share, I think it was. They dropped off a bag. This is when we were on South Nevada for what? It was 5 of us then? Yeah. And they dropped off a bag. I think it was 2 cans of vegetables and like maybe one other thing. I could not believe it. So, and beggars can't be choosy, they say. I understand that. But when you have programs that are there to help people, help your neighbor, they really should help. Don't go to people that really don't help you. Same with churches. If they don't really help, don't go there. And I mean that in a spiritual sense. I don't mean that in a a material way. I mean, if they are burdening you and telling you things that are not true, don't go there. So my nonprofit is going to pull in stuff from churches and to help churches too. So, I will somehow be taking information from people and being able to share that back with the churches somehow so that we can help people more. And I will be taking stuff from churches to find out more solutions. So every church I feel should have gas cards, the basics, food. You don't know if a woman needs diapers or she needs formula or baby food. You don't know if she's out. You don't know if she's gotten WIC. Why are these not on the forms? And it should be rent. It should be at least something for rent for people struggling. So they want to know what are my jobs. So I have like 5 jobs, right? But I don't have any pay. I have teaching, which I was sick when I was asked about 2 or 3 times last week. There was my cleaning business I'm trying to get going. There is a place that said they'll call me when they need help, but they're slow. There's a temp agency. If I can do it, I will. And then I just started a new job on Wednesday. I'll start. So with 5 jobs, right now I'm in a place with no income. And that's not all on me. So I have another interview tomorrow, and I have to put these jobs that call way in the back. Put them in the back and get 5 jobs that actually have work, right? And those are all going to be my backup jobs. So I'll have like probably 10 jobs total. Make sure you have plenty of work, ladies. So anyways, when you do find something comes up and you need some help, there is no shame in asking for help. We were brought up in a generation that says don't ask for help. If you ask for help, it's shameful, right? If you ask for financial help, again, I don't know why that is. Somebody can take all my time, which time is money, want me over every single weekend, the grandparents, to go over there and entertain them every single weekend. And yes, they'll make dinner, but that's my time. That's my time I can be working, right? So we need to figure out better solutions for women. So those should be the basics. And then on top of that, there should be, how can we come alongside you and find more solutions? What about utilities? I just called for a leak today. What about a deposit on a new place? What about, a lot of places are like, well, you're not in our zip code, so we can't help you. What about going across states and helping moms? So we are in a place right now, we are fighting for life, and this is why we need more help. I was talking to someone today from quite a distance, and I said there's not enough help. And they're like, no, there isn't. And they do this on a regular basis, helping people, and they're like, nope, there isn't enough help. So we need the support for women. If we do not get out there, guys, and start being generous and start really helping people and helping moms, and it's the number one argument for abortion is, well, I don't have enough money. And really, honestly, that is not the real reason. The real reason is because women are uneducated, okay? But we have an enemy, Planned Parenthood, who wants women to think that they cannot afford children. We have scared society into thinking that they need a lot of stuff to have kids. We had 5 in a trailer, and they were fine. And we had a lot. We did. I had to get rid of stuff all the time because people gave me so much stuff. So, this can be done. Your children are more important than things. And we need enough support for women materialistically. And then we need enough support emotionally. Like I had somebody say to me, well, you were here in June, so we don't help you again. How often do you get paid? Every single day, every single week, and you're complaining about this? That negative stuff. I talked to someone else and said, hey, this lady wasn't very nice to me. And she's like, I'm going to look into that. We're going to get back to you. You shouldn't have to deal with someone not being nice to you when you need help. And then I told a Bible study where I was plugged into a church, hey, ladies, you all don't know how to give. Guess what? I'm letting people that I am connected with know about what you did over here and how you're not trained in helping people. That is ridiculous. You expect people to go to a church to give, and you only help like what? Some churches have papers that say once a year. Really? How often do you get paid? Once a year? So we have churches that I went to one that was just, they dug in big time. Like, oh my goodness, like you cannot ask for anything from a church. You cannot ask for anything, and you have to work your butt off for a church and be there every single day. And it's just like, why? Why are churches like this? So we need to, there's a lot of good churches out there, guys. I'm not totally downing churches. But we need, if we preach Christ, okay, God who has given us everything, every single day we are blessed by God and we're on our way to heaven, how much more should Christians be helping people? How much more? We should be helping people a lot. So, don't be afraid to ask for help. And I don't mean that just with physical stuff. Spiritually, don't be afraid to ask God for help. Um, when I was healing from my abortion, when the truth hit me about the abortion, I cried out to God, and He heard my cry and He helped me. And then when I went to church, I asked a million questions. Well, what about this? What about that? I mean, I had people invest in me heavily. I had a lady mentor who was well renowned. I had another lady who's well renowned. She works, I think it's at the Chambers of Commerce now. I had another lady who invested in me. I had Bible studies that invested in me. I had, I haven't really had a relationship with a pastor. I don't know why. I think the authority figure makes me uncomfortable because of the abortion. I don't know. So, yeah, them and police. I don't know. So, anyways, but I did ask pastors questions. What about this? And what about that? And what about this? And I had to ask. I had to humble myself. And now I'm pretty strong spiritually. I mean, I have a good foundation. Emotionally, much more stronger. I had a group of women come alongside me and be like, Melissa, you are beautiful. You are gorgeous. Look at you. And you should have been a model. You are like beautiful. And I've had women build me up so much. You used to be a knockout. You're still beautiful, but boy, you were a knockout. And people invest in me instead of tearing me down. That's the difference. So emotionally, physically, spiritually, and then to trust God. God is going to bless you. He's got plans for you, scripture says, not to harm you, but to prosper you. God, I'm in this place for a reason right now. I'm at this place in my life for a reason. I grew up and I never thought about money. My father was an excellent provider. My mother was an excellent provider. I never thought ever about what is the next, meal on the table. Never. And not that I even had to think about it because I was so busy with everybody. But God has allowed a desert time for me to say, you're going to trust me, Melissa. You're not going to trust in people. You're not going to trust in your own strength. You are going to trust in me. And that has been such a blessing because God can be trusted. And when you get at the bottom, like I said, there's nowhere to go but up. We're moving to a really nice place. It's going to be a nice place that has been much better than these last 3.5 years in Colorado. So, yeah, it's going to be super nice. And even when people look at the forms and they're like looking at how much you pay for rent, well, do they look and say, okay, you're not even having like an adequate home. Like, this is a 3-bedroom, but we have 4 of us in here, right? So, if I was married to my husband, that would be fine. But one of my sons took the living room so I could have the bigger room. And I said, next time I'll take the smaller room because you took the living room. And this new place, it's like a 4-bedroom. I mean, it says 3-bedroom, but there's like an extra room. And it is in a luxury place. So we are going to be very well taken care of. There will be gates and everything so that we don't have people breaking in and stealing in our cars like we had to deal with here. So we're headed, north, and we are looking forward to this. Um, but ask for help, guys. Ask for help and say, hey, I need help with this. When you move, I need a discount on the apartment. There's military discounts. There's lots of stuff to help you. So always, 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 ladies, ask for help. There's no shame in it. There's no you're better than other people because you have more money or because you have less and you can make it on very little. That doesn't mean you're more self-righteous than others either. There is no righteousness apart from Christ. So as long as you're being honest about things and you fill out paperwork that's true, this lady who mentored me said, Melissa, as long as you're being honest about it, don't worry about it. So ask for help, ladies, and make sure you have faith that you can have your kids. I had people telling me, what? You're going to have another one? What? You're going to have 3 in a trailer? And so I'm like, yeah, I'm actually going to have more in a trailer. And, I had said, we are grandfathered in at one point in a trailer and said, I'll have as many darn kids as I want. A trailer is not going to stop me from having a lot of kids. So, it would have been nice to have more. But at the same time, like I said, my husband was like, that's all I can do. I don't know if he felt like that was the influence from his parents. I wanted more, but when I looked back, I was like, okay, 35. I felt like at that time being pregnant at 35 was pushing it. I have people all the time tell me, you don't look like you're old enough to have that many kids and that old. But I'm like, yeah, I get that all the time. But 35 I felt like was pushing it. And then I've seen women since then, like having their first one at 40. And I'm like, really? How do you feel about having a kid at 40? And they're like, it's great. We live in a different day and age. And 40 really isn't that too old to become a mom. For me personally, I do feel like you are better off to have them when you're young. Because you have, and I'm talking 35 probably is the perfect cutoff. Because when you're young, you are strong, you have energy, you can chase them, you can keep up with them. And then when you're older, like right now, if I thought like of having, I'm at the end of that age, but if I was to have a 10-year-old right now, I don't know that I could keep up, honestly. So, unless you got money to have a lot of people help you, take care of your kids, I don't think at this age having a 10-year-old I could keep up with. And I don't know, there's a lot. Maybe 10 would be okay, but like because they're more independent, but maybe 5 I would probably say no. Like maybe 2, definitely no, I could not keep up. But yeah, but you gotta, I don't know, even if I got pregnant on accident when I was older, I would still have that child and be like, okay, I need to find a way to get, probably send them to school. I wouldn't have homeschooled probably. Send them to school and take that as help. That's a lot of help for people to go to school and your kid is taken care of all day. I didn't do that. I homeschooled mine because I wanted so much time with them. But school is a resource. Babysitters, I didn't have a lot of people babysitting my kids. Using a nanny if you get the money. But have your kids. Find ways to have your kids. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys.